Kyojin episode 9, season 4, right? And press that button. Press the goddamn subscribe button, right? I'm happy getting close to 5,000 minutes, like 20 more subscribers now. That's pretty cool. But of course, Gabi, murdered, assassinated. Poor Sasha, the most beloved character and the best voice actor in the anime, right? Kobayashi, clearly the best voice actor. And I would recommend again her Kiss Him Not Me. I think is the best anime she's ever done. She's done many good, of course, watch this, but that's a good one. And obviously, Lala Gonzalez in School Rumble is a really good acting for her too. But for that matter, of course, as I say, every goddamn time, right? I really don't, care that much that Gabi killed Sasha, and people are like, oh no, it's war. Yeah, it's war. The issue is it's so predictable. I said again, yeah, it's predictable. Like I called it first time I saw Gabi. I was like, oh, should I kill a main character later on? Immediately, the first episode, like, yeah, this character here, she's clearly the new main character. She's clearly gonna kill someone later. Like that's the issue with Gabi. The main issue, but there are many issues with Gabi. But anyway, so of course we're gonna probably milk that. They're probably gonna milk the Sasha pain now. They're gonna be like, oh, Sasha, she's dead, and let's milk that a lot now. It's gonna be everyone crying. It's gonna be some kind of, it's already in preview, right? Some kind of what's it called? I guess ceremony, burial. I don't know what they have. That's like a weird thing to take a Titan. I don't really know what kind of like how they actually bury people. They're probably just gonna make it look European, right? But they have no religion. They have the wall religion. Yeah, it doesn't really have like an actual how the ceremony would be in like a Titan. But it's something European looking, probably like a church, probably, right? Because they have the walls kind of like a church religion. But anyway, let's start watching it. So 3, 2, 1, and go. I think it's kind of like they're kind of like Christian-ish. I would say they're kind of Christian-ish, right? So again, Armor's gonna be sad. Everyone's gonna be sad. Come on, we know what's gonna happen. Everyone's gonna be sad. And they're gonna do some kind of flashback to make it more sad about Sasha. Oh, this is gonna explain the Zeke thing probably. Because they mentioned that Peak, of course, being the true best girl, figured out that the Zeke fandom thing there, the missing ships and so on. Ah, here we go. Yeah, so they're using the probably armor probably. Okay, it's Aaron. Yeah, that's wrong. I mean, armor is bigger. And I was like, you go with the boat. Okay, it's Aaron, but whatever. It's like a 50% chance that I failed that one. God damn it. But sure, yeah, he can lift the boat. But Army now, if he would be an Easter guy too. But I guess he would like, maybe he would just burn the melted boat. This is awesome. And he is a promoter. Welcome to our place, guys. Yeah, come on, it's awesome. It was the best comedy point ever, anything like that. Oh, that was awesome. Oh, this is awesome. Hanji has a kind of comedy, Kansai comedy. Her and Levi doing the. Oh, that was neat. Oh, Hanji's a good character. And of course Aaron. This is flat we know that Hanji is dead also. Did Sasha do it? What happened? Oh, this is probably, I see, it's probably Yelena. It's probably, yeah, of course, it's her like, oh, I'm evil. It's her being like, oh, I'm on Zeke's side. Here, okay, it's the betrayal. Yeah, of course. Hanji-chan, I'm over here, right? And being like, oh, this woman looks really evil. She might be the most evil character, you know. But this character is really evil. She's really. Is she gonna define evil? But she's like very fanatic. That's a good word. Yeah, she's very motivated by her ideals. Yeah, that woman is She is, but arguably she might be the most evil character. Very, very fanatic at least. Just immediately kills him like, oh, I wanna join you guys. I wanna betray them. It's gonna be awesome. It's like I like the betrayal. Of course. This episode probably will mostly be a flashback episode where they explain, like Zeke's plan a bit, her plan a bit. Probably milk at Sasha. That scene, right? They're gonna be like, look at Sasha being all cute. Expecting a lot of Sasha moments, probably in these things to make it all extra sad and make it all depressing. And then it's gonna be like as I mentioned earlier, some kind of ceremony, right? Some kind of church or whatever. It's probably gonna rain or snow because of the anime. But I think that because this is kind of supposed to be like Europe or something, right? I mean, there are obviously Germans and so on. So yeah, used to like an actual burial thing. I suppose they're kind of like Christians in this anime, kinda, right? The wall people, they're kind of like a Christian religion, arguably. It's like an offshoot of Christianity, something like that. From like an actual, I mean, like how are we gonna bury Sasha? I suppose so. Let's see. Now it's gonna be a cute Sasha, and it's gonna be all. It's really dark. I know what yeah, Sasha sleeping on the rock and so on. Exactly. It has to be. You know, the episode's gonna be a lot of like cute kawaii Sasha moments. And Sasha is all like, oh, cute the potatoes and liking food and. So I like the detail here. Aaron has of course he's getting the I don't know what to call it, Eldian Titan scars with his eyes, right? But you can see here, and she feels like a woman. That would kill. Yeah, that would be like. I mean, by accident, being like, whoa, does this gun work? Definitely feels like a character. Like, how do you lose your eyes? Oh, I was looking into the pipe of a gun. Yeah. God damn it, Daniel. God damn it. But yeah, but yeah, that's forget the scorching. I liked it because Aaron clearly has more eye scars, right, in the current storyline. But here in this flashback, that's taking place between the time skip and of course current storyline. He had like less. Yeah, the scars were like not as extended, right? But kind of like half down his chin, right? So it's a good detail on his face. They're kind of progressing of being a Titan, right? I do kind of miss though when we had all these crazy the dancing, and I kind of miss that when they were just Titans and they were honestly a little bit. I kind of miss when they were just like, oh, they were Titans and they were kind of weird, right? Now it's like we kind of make some kind of world war. We're gonna kill them. Yeah, it used to be deviant Titans dancing. That used to be that was about back in the days. Suppose this place is up in that ocean. I mean, she's like really into Zeke. She's some kind of absurd fanatic character. You know? She's like really into Zeke. Really into Zeke. Something like that. It's like her only motivation, I think, is that she's really into him. I think that's like yeah, she's thirsty for that. Yeah, I think that's the real motivation. She's like, oh, whatever he wants to do, I will do it. Something like that. It's some kind of. So there's a crimson looking tea there. I'm saying it's like a red looking tea. Oh, this episode also there. Ah, here we go. This one you see her, the mighty Zeke, right? The ultimate Titan. The beautiful beast Titan. This is she's like, oh. What a man. He's a god. Here we go. Yeah, here we go. He's like, he's my god. Yeah. see, seriously, her whole thing is like, she's motivated mostly by her thirst for Zeke. Come on, she's like, oh, my Zeke. Come on, that is her. Like 99% of her motivation is she wants to smash Zeke. That is. Come on, she's staring at the perfect being, Beast Titan. And this is the weird thing in the title where they kind of are trying to utilize, I don't know, old, what do you call it, politicians and... I mean, should I see him? I'm laughing when I see him. Oh my god, I was saying anything. Oh my god, it's hilarious. It's hilarious. But it's like a weird thing already in this anime because they kind of have the half-assed military commanders, and then they took over the king, but it's the story of the queen now. It's a little bit like the politics of this country is a little shady, to say the least. Who is in control and so on, and who is, to say the least, I would say. I mean, they basically made a coup, right? They took over the country, but they don't control it anyway. It's a weird thing. Then depending on what they have 3 different armies and so on, 3 different military branches, right? I guess with different control over it too, and they have the royal control. It's a weird thing, but anyway, yeah, we know that he needs to touch the royal blood, right? His I would call her mom, but like stepmom perhaps. But yeah, he needs to touch the blood. Like her son has, right? Man, the story has solid screen time. And she's clearly one of the best characters too. She's like the highlight of her season, right? And then she's like no screen time afterwards. It's like I would say that the story is like the highlight when she gets the whole focus, and then they like put her as a queen princess character, and she doesn't get any screen time anymore. Like, forgot about her. Here we go to the ships here. It feels like Mali is really bad war though. So here the Mals are coming again with more ships, and of course Jelena is like, yeah, cool, we need assistance. I mean, obviously she wants to betray them, but it feels like they're really bad military war because they're like, haven't they figured out that they can probably capture them? I mean, it feels like a really obvious trap, and haven't they been in war for 100 years? Oh, this has to be the nuke boy though. Here we go. This time it's obviously Armin that's gonna call up there. Goddamn power of being a living nuke, man. And of course they're gonna capture them. But I mean, honestly, isn't the Mali really incompetent for a war nation? Like, it's supposed to be like this super Germans come on. It's supposed to be like German Empire, right? And has been a very successful country in war, and they're like, oh, you need help over there when they have Titan shit? Oh, let's just go over it. Like, yeah, it's obviously not a trap at all. You would think that they would be like, no, you guys are dead. Like, yeah, like, I mean, honestly, I think that mostly especially in World War II, that the Germans would be like, no, you guys have dead. Like, you're lost. So you won't even try to save you, right? They probably wouldn't even try to save them, honestly, in real war. I don't think the Germans did that. I don't think they would be like abandoning them, right? Because they can't save them, right? Like, it's obviously a trap. It feels like, I think that the German during World War II, they probably would have abandoned them and been like, no, they are clearly dead anyway. Probably wouldn't it? Soviet Union definitely would have abandoned. Yeah, Soviets, they definitely wouldn't have cared. The Japanese nation also probably wouldn't have cared that much either. Yeah, I mean, I think like Pearl Harbor, yeah, the Japanese, they definitely wouldn't have cared if their soldiers survived. They would be like, no, this is a war. They're sent to die, right? No. So it's actually, That's like I would call it like a massive plot hole that the Marleys try to save the soldiers. That is like a really non-authentic Marley Empire thing. But anyway, here that was gonna be goddamn Sasha sadness. It's gonna be goddamn. You know they're gonna milk this goddamn death scene. They're gonna be like, remember Sasha? She was. Stop eating the lobster, girl. No, Sasha. Let it. You know we're gonna have to build up the goddamn Sasha love scenes. Oh goddamn it, most beloved girl ever. Oh no, this falls in love with Sasha because she loves him. This even he's gonna fall in love with Sasha because she loves his food so much. He's like, no one's ever cried for my food. See, he's like, oh my god, what a woman. See, classic. You're gonna be like. I'm gonna have to milk the death scene, right? I'm gonna get like. She's gonna keep it there. Like, well, let's build a train. Yeah, that's like a really good idea. Like a little wood train there. That's a really good the toy trains. Let's make a real train. Oh man, I don't want to see these Sasha scenes. I don't want to see the goddamn Sasha scenes. We can build it up. This is a good scene though. They're training for war, right? They used to fight the Titans. Now they are training to fight humans. Then yeah, like rifling, training to accuracy and so on. And obviously Sasha's the best sniper. Goddamn it, goddamn anime. But it's kind of gives hints to his true plan here. Oh, who cares? There's like, oh, whatever. Yeah, like he's getting that like, I will kill them all strategy. It's like, no, I don't care about life anymore. I'm gonna destroy all the civilians. So he's getting into the whole idea of like, no, I'm just gonna like jump in there and kill them all. Probably it's a good strategy. Like he's starting feeling the Eren is going into this path of like no return, I guess. Oh, there we go. Sasha, that scene again. I knew you were gonna make the scene. Gonna repeat. That's a death scene, of course. And it's weird. Eren left, of course, when he heard she's dead. That's really weird. This is probably after then he figures out that she's dead, right? There's a number of soldiers in the boat there, okay. Oh, this is this is anime. It's gonna rain with that. It's gonna rain at when someone is getting buried, you know. This is the chef then that fell in love with Sasha. She was his best eater. oh, this is like silly, sad, stupid in all the ways at the same time, man. So we saw him there earlier, you know, falling for Sasha there, and she loved his lobster. Of course, you know, that's Connie's best friend. Because everyone loves Sasha, right? We know that. It doesn't say that everyone loves Sasha. Come on, Sasha's that character where, you know, no one hates Sasha. It's just everyone's, you know, like, everyone goddamn loves Sasha, man. This is the heart of the anime. The wholesome, friendly girl is always happy, you know. Oh, yeah, it was her parents or her sister, though. His whole thing is like, your daughter was the best. No one loved my food as your daughter. It's like, it's a sad scene, but his the whole thing is just so silly. He's like in love with her because she loved his food so much. Like, come on, man. But yeah, but now it's like a sad scene now because like meeting the parents after the daughter died, right? Yeah, like it's. Oh, here we go, Zeke in. And of course, Levi is his god, right? This thing I think is hilarious that the Levi is like, I hate you so much, monkey, that I'm never gonna not look at you. Like, from the crying to laughter. But I love this thing, the dynamic here, because Levi is like, he hates him so much, he's never ever gonna not be with Zeke. He's like, I will always follow you around, man. It's like, come on, me, there's a plan, man. Don't be angry at me. I just have my crazy plan, you know. Guess it's like the syringe things. So I said it last week. I was like, why can't they just give Sasha a syringe and make her eat a Rainer? Rainer doesn't want to leave anyway. Just make her eat Rainer. Come on. Goddamn, there would be an easy fix for it. No, but seriously, I'm just like, why can't you just give her like a syringe and make her Titan, and then they maybe can eat, I don't know, or some of the other, you know, Titan shifters. They even got an Armin, man. Who? No one loves Armin. Come on, someone probably loves Armin, but come on, no one really loves Armin. People love Sasha. I don't think it's really actually kind of weirdly not explained how they're making more of the serums. Because clearly the Marlins can make a lot of them, and they have the whole forcing everyone to turn into Titans and so on, when they set them on the island. So they have to be able to produce them in a much better way than the other things. But whatever, it's just a weird thing. We also have the Force of Blades, for that matter. That is never explained in the anime whatsoever, but it's like a... In the side story, in the one of the canon side books, it's about like a force of blades that they make the weapon of. They're also never explained, but whatever. Aaron probably. Oh, it's Gabi and Falco, I guess. Yeah, and Gabi's like planning her next murder. See, Gabi's like, kill them all! Oh, it's a good Gabi face though. Yeah, she's like, oh, you're gonna die! Alien devil! Yeah, she's planning her Akuma revenge strategy. Very good, Gabi. Yeah, of course. Gabi is gonna kill them all, right? We know she's gonna kill them all. Get revenge. Oh, it has to be Annie. It has to be Annie now. It has to be an Annie scene. Annie for like 20, 30 episodes. But okay, ignore flashbacks. It has to be Annie. Yeah, see it now. They're talking to Annie, of course. You see this would be the diamond of Annie. So it has to be an Annie scene here and the end there. Exactly. I knew it. Yeah. And when I saw the wood, I was like, oh, it has to be Annie here. Yeah, it has to be the hidden best girl in the basement, in the other basement. But yeah, I knew it. Yeah, when I saw it, I was like, it has to be Annie. It has to be the Annie scene, of course. Armin go and talking to Annie there. Pretty boy Aaron here. Pretty boy Aaron, I guess. I mean, he's ripped though. Yeah, he got those muscles. It's a pretty boy Aaron scene. Oh, an episode. You can go back and forth between some weird. It's a Sasha thing, right? It have to be like, it's Sasha, so it has to be both sad and funny, because Sasha's a funny girl, so it has to be like a joke with her and eating lobster and... it has to be like, how do I say it? It feels kind of classic for like a Sasha death episode. There's like, oh, it's sad, people are crying, but also, here's a comedy scene with Sasha, right? So they kind of jump back and forth between making you laugh at Sasha. Oh, that was a wholesome girl, and then of course, oh, she's dead. That's a weird episode. But the Annie thing there, yeah, I was like, oh, of course, it's Annie scene when I saw the wood there. There's like a really weird scene too in the whole Annie and Armin thing. So talk about that in the review part. Stop with that. That's a weird thing I feel. They were talking about crazy Julian. I like her. She's like sick, a pretty boy. Actually, it's not a person. It's just with a fanatic. Oh, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. With she's like, oh, look at my Zeke, the ultimate man. They got it. It's a piece. Maybe she's a furry. Maybe she's just a furry. She's like, oh, look at his fur. I don't know, but let's talk about her first in the review. See if some any credits or something. It's probably his preview. Next episode. Yeah, it's more Pretty Boy Aaron. And his story, I guess, like a first voiced line, if like 10 episodes. I guess. And Mikasa looks like a man again. But yeah, Gabi is Aaron. You said worse. Gabi is like Aaron, just more annoying, basically. It's like an annoying Aaron. And Aaron was annoying too, so it's like she's like an Aaron times 10. In the same personality in the beginning and so on. But let's start with, I love the scene Yelena was like thirsty, and that's a good scene in the review here. Oh, there she is. It's like perfect. It's gonna be a tandem after my review part, definitely. And beautiful. I love it. I love her. I love her fanatic thirstness. So yeah, that's really the episode. So she's like a willing traitor, right? Because Zeke, as we know, has betrayed, of course, the Marleys. Or maybe not. I mean, Zeke is like a quadruple agent, right? Kind of weird guy, has his own plan and so on, right? And he may or may not be on Aaron's side, and so on and so forth, right? You know how that goes, right? And her agenda then, right, as we see here, is that, well, we knew already she betrayed the Marleys with Peak and so on. Peak recognized, the Mississippi and so on. But, yeah, so she's like the, I don't know, Yandere, but she's like, I would say she's Yandere, honestly. I would say she's like a Yandere girl, right? Because she's willing to kill anyone for Zeke, right? Yeah, so I would say she's Zeke love, yeah. She's basically like a super Yandere girl, fanatically in love with Zeke, right? So, as we see it here, she kills the other, Marley military man, right? Because she's like, oh, I'm on Zeke's side. So, that's kind of her thing, and arguably, I think she's like the most evil character in the anime, like straight up kind of evil, right? Kind of psychopath, sociopathic evil. As I mentioned, then you can see her as a Yandere girl, right? She's willing to murder anyone for Zeke, right? So she's kind of willing to do anything for his evil scheme, right? So she's like, willing to betray or switch sides and so on. And she's like that's kind of a weird character that it's kind of like playing the Zeke faction no matter what, right? And then of course Zeke has his own agendas and plans and so on. As with Leva, it's like, I don't trust you, monkey, right? So, but her whole thing though, I think it's kind of funny here because she's basically falls in love with Zeke. She sees him transform in the war earlier, because. And yeah, gets like he's the perfect man. I guess it's like, epiphany of him being like, oh, look at his furry body, it's perfect. I got it, right? And then she's like, insanely in love with Zeke, right? Willing to do anything he wants, right? So that's kind of her character, honestly. And in one way, I would argue she's like, I don't know, is she a complicated character? In some sense, she is, because she does a lot of things that she's like a smart character. Yeah, things that she's quite the intelligent character, but she's also arguably quite one-dimensional. She's like, I have to do what Zeke wants, right? So she's very, very, how say it? She has one very obvious agenda, right? But she's very intelligent. She does a lot of kill the other Marleys and betrays them and so on, right? And so she's like a smart, crazy person, right? So an intelligent Yandere, right? So, but yeah, I think she's a Yandere girl. That's kind of what I would call her. We're gonna see more of her being just insanely fascinated. In one way, though, you could argue she's a Mikasa, right? In one way, to throw the Mikasa under the bus here, but you could argue that this is Zeke's Mikasa, right? She's willing to do anything for Zeke, no matter what. And if anyone questions Zeke, she's like, shut up, Zeke is perfect, right? Basically, she's Mikasa, right? Just that she's blonde instead, and not a really good. And Mikasa is like a physical OP character, right? With amazing physical attributes and. So stronger and faster than the other human, right? Yelena isn't like particularly physically strong, but she's like cunning and scheming instead. Like she tricked Peak into the hole and so on, right? Of course, Peak actually saw through that trick, so Peak is by far a very intelligent character. And so, but earlier Peak was being very, very intelligent. But Yelena is like I guess scheming Mikasa. That's like, I think it's a good way to do it. Yeah, like she's like a trickster Mikasa, right? That's how I would look at it. Obsessed with her, Jäger boy, and like, I'm gonna get my man, whatever he wants, right? That's the way I look at her. Yandere, insane character standpoint. Like, it's another good scene with her actually kind of. What's the she kind of smiles evil there? Or what's that scene? Yeah, this is kind of what I mean. She's kind of very, very evil. I would say she's the most evil character in the whole. Yeah, like she's incredibly evil actually, in a sense. I mean, as I said, that Yandere, insane Yandere character. Yeah, he's like, come to my trap, right? Yeah, you're gonna like it here. So she's kind of like that. Yeah, she's like some kind of psychopath in love with Zeke, right? That does anything he wants. You can see it here. But it's what I mean, dude, because here she's betraying her own, I wouldn't call her friends, but her side, right? Again, she's like a betrayal of the Marleys. And isn't she enjoying it too? She's like, not only betraying them because of, Zeke, right? She's like, yeah, this is what I mean. So she's really enjoying betraying them too, right? She's really into her evil scheme. That's what I mean, yeah, she's very, I would say, very Andre, yeah, very like psychotically in like, yeah, they're gonna die, it's gonna be awesome. Like it's very much like that, right? So very, I would say probably the most evil character in the whole storyline, actually. Pure evil, something like that. But that's what I mean, because she could just be on Zeke's side, right, and do whatever he wants. But she's kind of enjoying it too, right? She's like, yeah, she's enjoying betraying other people, because she's like, yeah, I did it for your sake. You like that, Zeke? I do anything. She's that kind of woman, right? She's like willing to not just betray them and so on, but also enjoying being evil, right? So she's very chaotic evil, right? Chaotic evil in love with, with her beast, man. That's kind of her. Anyway, while we're at that scene, though, I'll say it briefly here. I'll mention the reaction part. I do find this hit a little silly from an actual military standpoint. And I would argue that it's like not fitting for the Mali Empire. Actually, I genuinely think the scene is pretty stupid, actually. And I would argue saying it's one of the worst writing part probably of the whole anime. No, but seriously, it's okay. So of course, what happens is that Yelena tricks them in, right? She's like, "Oh, come and save us. We need help, the Mali Empire, right?" And they enter, and it's a traitor scene, right? The thing is, as I mentioned during the reaction part, I think it's very true. From a historical aspect, though, and of course the Mall is supposed to be the German Empire, right? It's like World War II and so on. But most countries in World War II, on the Axis side, not on the good side. I mean, on the evil side, right? Yeah, of World War II, they all had something in common, and that was like, well, they had many in common, right? But one thing they had in common was they did not care about the soldiers. If you read about, obviously, think about like Pearl Harbor and so on, right? The Japanese Empire was like, oh, they are dead, right? And actually, in the Japanese culture, right, at that time, it was basically an embarrassment, right, to return home and being alive. It's like, what, you didn't die for your country? Well, loser, right? And the German Empire also was kind of like, we send them into Stalingrad and they kind of die, right? Yeah. The Soviet, it's a classic scene, right? But the Soviets were using, they didn't have enough money or industrial power, so they had like 2 men per rifle, and one of the guys died, the other guy could pick up his rifle, right? So most of the empires during World War II and World War I, they wouldn't have cared to save the soldiers. They would have been like, this whole idea of like romancing, saving these like fallen comrades is like a not very authentic feeling. So honestly, I think it's fair to say it's like a plot hole, honestly. Like a nitpick plot hole. But seriously, the Germans wouldn't save them in World War either. They would not try to save them. Like in World War I or II, these nations of Malays, because the Malays are basically supposed to be, super evil Germans, right? And we saw it earlier as well, that they kind of built up that Roman Empire, right? Which the Roman Empire did care about soldiers and whatnot. But in Attack on Titan, they're like extra evil Roman Empire, right? So they kind of portrayed as super evil empire. They wants to win by any means necessary, right? So I would say that I don't think this actually makes any sense. I think the Mali Empire, given that they are like super, evil empire in that sense, right? Typical, not caring about the soldiers, right? They probably wouldn't care about this. They probably would be like, why should we save them? Like, they're probably dead anyway. I honestly think that if we have this kind of nation in history, or look at any historical, similarities with, like, separate the German Empire and other empires with a similar, nationalistic and this so on and forth, right? They would not save them. They would not save them whatsoever. So honestly, this scene, in my opinion, it doesn't make any sense. The Mali should have let them die, right? They would be like, oh, they're dead, they lose it, yeah, whatever. That would be much more into what the Mali Empire. I mean, the Mali Empire is sending out people like bombs, right? From their separatists and whatnot. Of course, they are LDS, but still, the Malis are clearly like super evil Germans. Right? They do not care about their soldiers. So no, honestly, I don't buy it. I don't buy it at all. Being a history buff, this makes no sense because the Malis are supposed to be like super evil, World War I or II empire. They did not care about the soldiers whatsoever. So it's the same, of course. Look at the Cold War after World War II, when the Soviets, for example, made people build a railway, right, the Trans Railway through Russia. And they would die building the railway. They die, whatever. You keep forcing building so on forth, right? Or if you look at like the Red Khmers and so on, right? So and the Mali Empire is supposed to be that kind of empire where they're like willing to sacrifice their men to build like a railway, right? Like that's how the empire is supposed to be. That's what's supposed to be coping, right? It's like a alternative World War I, II, something, right? So no, they should have died. They should have not saved them whatsoever. And also it's an obvious trap. So I mean even more so because it's an obvious trap and they're evil. So they should be like, why would we save them then? But anyway, let's go on. But I feel nitpicky, but this scene to me doesn't make any sense. Like it doesn't. Let's talk about the death scene though. Which of course they're gonna milk, right? There we go. I wanna have the meeting the parents scene. Kind of like yesterday's Horimiya. So, of course, the episode is gonna be Sasha. It's gonna be about her death, right? It's gonna be about her love interest, her like new love interest that I haven't shown before. We see his father, we see her father, we see her sister, right? We see her mom and so on, kind of introducing the Sasha, the Blues family, right, as well. It was a sad episode, definitely that part of it, and I did find it a little strange though, because it kind of kept jumping back and forth between, as I said, right, they kind of jump back and forth between, here's Sasha, and it's sad, she's dead, and here's Sasha eating a lobster, like with head, like being like a monster, going lobster girl, right, so it's like a really weird position anime, I feel, when it went from both like the comedy of Sasha being Sasha, right, being this like wholesome, friendly, funny girl, into her being dead and it's being sad, and they kind of jump back and forth between that. So that in the episode is really well done, and it's like a weird roller coaster of emotion because you're sad and at the same time you're like laughing at Sasha being, Sasha being Sasha. Yes, you kind of like, you're sad, and then the next thing you're laughing at it because it's a comedy, right? So it's that was a weird that scene, but whatever you call it, aftermath. Yeah, very weird episode in that sense. But I think it's good though because it fits Sasha, right? Everyone loves Sasha. Sasha is like beloved girl. Everyone loved her. Everyone thought she was the funniest girl, and so on, right? So it's fitting that Sasha character though, right? She's like, oh, here's comedy and sadness at the same time. It definitely fitting Sasha's character. So this character then, right, this new character to be, he is, I do find it a little silly though. Basically, right, he's in love with Sasha because when she eats, because he cries, of course, when she ate his food, right, and he's like, wow, no one's ever liked my food that much before. I do find it silly. The whole romance is that he is a chef, right, and he's making food, and she's like, oh my, and having like a soma experience with his food, right, and he's like, wow, she's getting off from my food, I'm gonna marry her. So it is a little silly, the whole thing, that he's like falling for her because no one ever liked his food that much, but Sasha likes everything a lot, right? So I don't know if she even likes his food that much because she just loves everything so much. So it's a little bit like, did she even love his food? I mean, because she's, she's like, oh my, she's going the whole Soma route. I feel it most food, right? So I feel it's a little bit. But the thing with Sasha, though, I said it last week too, is that people love her, right? She's kind of the comic relief character. She's the Puck. If you, I don't mean Puck in, actually I mean Puck in Berserk. She's kind of the comic relief character, right? In Order Grimm, actually kind of like Puck in S2, I think, but she's the comic relief character, right? And interesting enough, though, I feel that, as I said last week, Sasha as a character, like, in real life, I mean, you know, the viewers, like we, you know, everyone loves her, right? I'm not saying that necessarily everyone felt she was the best character or their favorite character, but I think Sasha as a character is very much like, oh, everyone kind of likes her. Yeah, she's a popular character, right? She's not like number one, but she's everyone's number three. It's kind of like that character where everyone just kind of loves her, you know? Like, no one hates her, like, oh, Sasha's a good character. And in the anime world too, Sasha is like, oh, everyone kind of loves her. Yeah, she's kind of that character in the anime too, right? Where everyone is like, I kind of like Sasha, you know? She's kind of like a good character, yeah. So that's like the thing with Sasha too, that she really was that heart, right? And of the anime. And I think that if like Connie died, who would care, right? Honestly, would anyone care about Connie dying? I mean, like Connie. I'm sorry, Connie, but it feels a little bit like, yeah, well, you know, Connie. He's like, but yeah, I think overall the episode is they capture the Sasha moment pretty well. I feel, right, and they show this thing and they're building up this her family and so on. So I get more for later. And in the end, also show the Gabi's rage, right? They're like, oh yeah, everyone is yeah. Again, that Gabi's like, I'm gonna kill them all. She doesn't learn anything yet. She's like, oh, I'm planning my schemes, murder every damn Indian, right? So again, get them with Gabi, and then we see hot Aaron being like, oh, look at my abs, right? So that's good. Oh yeah, one scene before I forget, I liked one scene before I get here. The last part of the review here. It's like a nice detail, I think. And that is that they were training, right? So let's go to that scene too. I think that's a good scene too in the episode. I just like kind of the general feel of it because it's going away from it, right? And yeah, I mean, of course, I'm excited for My Academia, so of course I am. I haven't actually read My Academia, right? So I haven't read it since the anime ended. So you know, I'm like a blind rat and actually watch My Academia. It's freaking awesome. I used to read My Academia, the manga, but then I stopped reading it after like until the anime. So whatever. But I like this as a last point too, right? It's mentioned in the report. I think it's a good part of the episode that they have this training with rifles, right? It's not like a big thing, but I like the thing because it kind of builds up that even though arguably you could argue it should be before the early episodes, because it's kind of like, you know, how would I say it, right? Like this is arguably we didn't know that our war with the Mars anyway, but this scene is good, I think, because it builds up that they're going from fighting titans, right, with the flying around maneuver gear and having the cutting sword and so on. They're going from away from that and the javelins, and now they're like, how can we shoot at people, right? So they're kind of training now with the classic, you know, rifling, accuracy, marksmanship, right? So I like that because it shows that Aaron is training to like how to kill humans, right, basically. And Armin is like, should we really do this thing? Armin's always like, you know, being sympathetic person, be like, I don't want to kill humans. Shut up and shoot, you know. Yeah, and Mikasa's like, I will do it if you want to, Aaron. I will try to kill him too, right? So it's kind of like an earlier scene here when they're clearly training to like how to have, you know, human more, right? Which they of course weren't used to before that. And also Aaron is a little bit like, oh, I'm gonna kill them all, guys. I'm gonna like get them. I'm gonna like kill those civilians. I'm gonna go in there and like transform. It's beating up a little bit of Aaron's like hatred and his like willingness to like just kill anyone, right, for his agenda, right? So it's a hinting to that, right? And it's a good point of it too, that Aaron is like getting the thing. But anyways, let's take a time in review. Subscribe button, so on, right. See you guys on Twitch soon here. I'm gonna take a short break, then go on Twitch. I'm gonna watch Mashup Potential, right? New Best Isekai, really good anime, I think. Gonna do it on Twitch soon here. And then of course later today also gonna do Nonyon Biaru, right? Which is the most wholesome anime ever. As I say every week, I do really love watching Nonyon Biaru after this anime. This anime, everyone's dying and it's all horrible, right? And then going on Nonyon Biaru, where it's just like, look at my frog! And it's like super kawaii, it's wholesome instead. The complete opposite of animes. It's hilarious, I feel. But yeah, press the goddamn subscribe button, guys. I'm so close now to 5,000, right? It's okay now, like, yeah, it's been a nice milestone. But as you guys have